Overpacking, you'll be dragging around useless stuff. Underpacking, you'll be paying cruise ship prices for what you forgot. Let's find that perfect balance. I used to be the guy who packed way too much, only to realize I didn't even use half of what I brought. Then I'd go on the next cruise and I packed too little, and I had to buy overpriced essentials on board. After finally learning the hard way, I mastered the perfect cruise packing system, and it makes all the difference. So listen up and learn from my mistakes. And at the very end, I'm sharing the most underrated cruise essential that frequent cruisers swear by, but you won't find it on any standard packing list. Let's be real. Every cruise channel, every cruise website, and every cruise group has at least one packing list. So why then am I doing another packing list video? Great question. Here's my answer. Most of them focus on the obvious stuff, the clothes, the toiletries, and maybe a swimsuit or two. What they don't cover are the little things that make a big difference. Items to keep your cabin organized, ways to save you from onboard price gouging, and things that'll make your cruise experience much smoother. That's exactly what we're going to be doing today. So let's get going. 1, start with the right packing strategy. Stick to a packing list. Create a master list. You can download different lists from 83 different cruise websites out there. Download a couple of them, piece them together to create a master list for what you need, for what you bring. That way, it's going to help you avoid any of that last minute stress. Did I pack that? Did I forget that? Did I add that? Now, take that list. You're going to want to adjust it based on a couple of factors: cruise length, the destination, and obviously the weather where you're going. If you want, you can do what I do, is create a digital version for, that way you can easily update it. I actually have a Google, what do they call it? Their version of Excel, their version of a spreadsheet. I can't think of the term right now, but I've got this master list that every time I'm getting ready to go on a cruise, I copy it, create a new one that's just for, like, we just got off a 5-nighter on NCL Joy. Take it, copy it, rename it NCL Joy, delete things that I know I'm not going to use. Like my master list includes items for an Alaskan cruise in the wintertime. Well, I don't need the jacket. I don't need this. I don't need that. Take them out. Narrow it down to just what you're going to need for the trip you're about to go on. Add anything that you think of, anything that, like if you're going to go on, a snorkeling trip in Cozumel or wherever. Add, snorkeling gear if you have your own snorkel, your own snorkel gear. Add reef safe sun protection if one of the islands you're going to requires it. Things like that. You can tweak it and you can keep it right there on your phone. That way, as you're out doing things and you think of something you need to add to it, or you realize, I don't need 3 outfits or 3 dress outfits because there's only one formal night. Then you can eliminate things. Okay. Next up, the 3-1-1 rule for toiletries. So TSA, as of right now, current limit for carry-on liquids, 3.4 ounces. So 100 milliliter bottles, 1 quart-sized bag, and 1 bag per person. 3-1-1. Cruise security follows similar guidelines, especially on embarkation day. So consider travel-sized versions of your essentials. Now, most cruise lines these days have shower, body wash, and hand soap in the bathrooms. So you might not want to bring your own. It depends on how picky you are about those kinds of things. Me, if it lathers and I feel somewhat clean afterwards, I don't care what brand it is. So a lot of times I won't bring my own shampoo or body wash because I just use, whatever the cruise ship gives me, for free. But other people are more particular. They like a particular brand. That's all they like to use because the way it makes their hair feel, the health of the hair, on and on and on. Then bring yours. Just make sure you just bring the travel size. Use packing cubes. I fought my wife on these for years. I'm like, they're a waste of space. I know how to pack. I don't need help, yada, yada, yada. Well, she went behind my back, arguably, and bought a set of packing cubes. Now, I hate to admit this because she's within earshot, but she was right. Packing cubes definitely help. Everybody has their own system when it comes to packing cubes. Some people pack 2 complete or 3 complete outfits in each cube and only open a cube as they need another outfit. Some people, like me, they categorize. So all of my shorts go in one. All of my socks and underwear go in another one. All of my t-shirts go in a third one. That kind of thing, depending upon, the length of the cruise, where we're going, how much stuff I need, that kind of thing. Now, we have been toying with the idea of getting compression bags, compression cubes. We've been seeing some advertising recently for ones where you don't need a vacuum to get them to compress. Still toying with the idea, haven't decided if we're going to pull the trigger on that. We've got another cruise coming up in about 60 days. We're thinking maybe we'll try it for that. There's a sale on this one set, and it's like, I don't know, $30, something like that. So it's not expensive. I don't know. We'll see. And if we do end up getting them, I'll let you know how I thought they work. Clothing essentials and outfit planning. This one you hear about a lot, and it's very different depending upon who is telling you about it. Me, first of all, I'm a guy. Second of all, I'm somewhat of a minimalist when it comes to clothing. I will gladly, bring 3 pairs of shorts on a 7-night cruise and rewear them. A, I'm never going to see the people on board again. And B, unless I spill something obvious on them, I'm really only wearing them half a dozen hours a day, so I pack less than other people. If you do want to have options, pick neutral colors, pick versatile pieces that you can mix and match. So you can get, you take 2 shirts and 1 pair of pants and you can get 3 outfits out of it, that kind of thing. Because there are some people where like literally they will pack an entire outfit from shoes to pants to shirt to socks and matching jewelry for every 4-hour chunk of time on the cruise. So they'll have arguably four different complete outfits for each day of the cruise. I'm not doing that. Forget that. That's triple the amount of clothes that I want to carry around with me. Lightweight fabrics that resist wrinkles. Imperative. You cannot bring, as most of you know, you can't bring an iron, you can't bring a steamer on board. You can use wrinkle release spray, and that does work. Again, don't bring heavy fabrics. Just lightweight fabrics. Minimize the amount that you have to bring. Most 7-day, 7-night cruises, they've got 1 to 2 formal nights. For guys, here's what I do. I bring 1, maybe 2 dress shirts and a arguably 1 black pair of slacks. I bring maybe 2 ties and, dress shoes and a couple pairs of dress socks. That's it. I hardly ever bring jackets anymore. I used to bring them all the time. There were times where I would bring a full 3-piece suit, but I found over the years, a couple of things. One, cruise ships are never comfortable temperature-wise when I'm dressed in a full suit. I always end up sweating, so I always end up taking off the jacket and putting it on the back of the chair. So now I don't even bother bringing it. Now, we have not done any of the high-end cruises yet that actually require formal wear. And when we do, I'm sure I will dress appropriately. But if you go on the mass market ships these days, heck, you're going to see people that try and get into the main dining room with flip-flops and tank tops on for a formal night. So dress how you want to dress, arguably. Now, it doesn't really matter to me, but don't be that guy in tank top and flip-flops on a formal night. The very least, please, polo shirt, nice pair of slacks. But at the same time, your vacation, you do you. For the women, I'm not going to talk about this a whole lot because that's outside of my realm of expertise. But I will tell you that my wife, when we go on a cruise and we're doing a formal night, she always has a dress on. Now, some are more formal than others, but she always wears a dress and she looks absolutely amazing every time. I beg her to bring dresses because when we're at home, we don't go to a whole lot of events on a regular basis that require dresses. And I think she looks absolutely beautiful in a dress. So I encourage her to bring dresses on cruises. Shoes wise, less is more. In my opinion, you need 3 pairs of shoes. Comfortable walking shoes, because you're going to do an excursion, or even if you just got a lot of sea days, you're arguably going to be doing a lot of walking. So bring something comfortable. I think when we were on the NCL Joy 2 weeks ago, I kept track of it and I averaged about 14,000 steps a day. For some people, that's a morning walk. For some people, that's 3 weeks worth of effort. So bring something comfortable. You need a pair of sandals or flip-flops for the pool deck or the beach when you're at a port, and then a pair of dress shoes for formal nights. Arguably, that's for guys. Women, you're going to want to bring more shoes than that, I'm sure. Next area, toiletries and personal care. Remember, most cruises are the average is 7 nights or less. Bring trial size versions. You don't need those big 32-ounce, Sam's Club or Costco specials. Just bring the trial sizes. Remember, you got to lug this stuff around with you, okay? Plus, the cabins, they're not big. So bring as little as you possibly can. And the bathrooms are even smaller. So minimize that bulk. Minimize the big bottles of everything. Do yourself a favor, keep a bottle of reef safe sunscreen in your luggage if you're going anywhere that's got a beach. So if you're doing Caribbean, if you're doing the Med, if you're doing South Pacific, anywhere that's going to be warm, you're going to be on a beach, bring reef safe sunscreen. More and more countries now are requiring that. So we've got a Ziploc bag that's got regular sunscreen, reef safe sunscreen, and aloe. And that just goes with us on every single trip. And then we refill it as needed. Ladies, bring facial wipes or micellar water instead of bulky cleansers. Yes, it might not do as good of a job, but it takes up a heck of a lot less space. I suggest bringing a small first aid kit, Band-Aids, a little bit of ointment, that kind of thing, just in case, because if you have to go to medical, that Band-Aid is going to cost you a couple $100. If you go to the gift shop and you want to buy Band-Aids, it's going to be 10 or 15 bucks. Bring your medication, bring extra medication for those of you that are on prescriptions. Pack those in your backpack that you carry with you. Do not put them in your luggage. Bring a couple of over-the-counter meds. So, bring a little container of ibuprofen or aspirin, whatever you take. Maybe a little bit of like rash ointment, maybe some Imodium. A couple little things like that just in case. Seasickness remedies, you can get Dramamine, you can get ginger chews. If you're really worried about it, go to your doctor, get the prescription patch or pills. Make sure you have that. Prescriptions, make sure that they are in the original bottles with the labels showing your name. You know what I mean? Shower essentials, we already talked about this. Cruise ship supply, shampoo and body wash. They can be a little harsh on your hair or your skin, but it's only a week. To each his own. My suggestion for the bathroom, get a hanging toiletry bag, because shelf space in a cabin, a stateroom on a cruise ship is about that big and about that wide. So if it's two of you in the room and you've got guys got your shaving kit and your deodorant and your toothbrush and your toothpaste and on and on and on, and the women have got all their stuff, you're gonna run out of room real quick. Grab yourself a toiletry bag that has got a hook on it. If there's nowhere to hook it, I've got 100-pound magnetic hooks. Stick one to the wall, hang it. It takes care of that. Cabin comfort and organization. I just mentioned them, magnetic hooks. We bring two different weights with us, 25-pound and 100-pound. The 25-pound, they're great for hats and light scarves and your lanyards at night and lightweight things like that. The 100-pound you're going to need if you're going to hang up a wet bathing suit or a wet towel or anything heavy like that. This one, we always bring the magnetic hooks, always, because there's just not enough horizontal space for all of our stuff. We also do the over-the-door shoe organizer. We put sometimes the shoes, usually we don't use them for shoes, but we do our sunscreen, our toiletries, other accessories. We use 2/3 of the slots. Hang it up over the outside of the bathroom door or the outside of the closet door. It's out of the way. It's off the ground. It definitely helps. Nightlight, if you're so inclined. Power strip cannot be surge suppressed, and I'm hearing more and more that cruise lines are limiting the non-surge protected power strips so that there can only be, I believe, 2 plugs on that power strip. Now you can have a couple of USB ports on the power strip as well. Like the one we have, it's got 4 USB ports and 2 plugs. We've used it for 4 cruises now, never had an issue. Okay. The nightlight, if you're in an interior cabin or even ocean view or a balcony, it can get dark at night, especially if you close the drapes to go to sleep. Bring a soft little nightlight. That way, if you got to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, you don't stumble over whatever's on the ground or have to turn on the light and wake up your significant other. Tech, I've kind of combined these two for time's sake, tech and document essentials. Waterproof phone case, bring it if you're planning on being anywhere near the water. We spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on our phones. They are kind of our lifeline these days. Don't take a chance on that getting ruined because it got splashed or got dropped in the ocean by accident. Bring that waterproof phone case in whenever you're near water, put it in there. And, depending upon which one you get, you can still use it underwater photos, things like that. Bring a portable charger, like, a battery that you can carry around with you. That way, if you've been taking videos on your phone for a couple hours and all of a sudden you're down to 10%, you're not going back to the ship for 4 more hours. You got your little charger. Okay. The cruise lines they're starting to crack down on this a little bit. Those batteries cannot be lithium. Well, they can be lithium, but they can't be lithium and over 100 WH, which I believe is watts per hour. So double check what you have, and maybe you need to go pick up a little one just for cruises. Make sure you have your cruise documents, your ID, your passport, your vaccination card if it's required, and your cruise boarding pass. Make sure you have that with you in your backpack or your purse to get on the ship, not in your suitcase. Do not put that in the suitcase, because once you hand that suitcase off to the porter, you're not seeing it again for like 8 hours. Okay. Also, keep them in a waterproof travel wallet. You can get them there, $10, maybe $20. We have them. You put it in there, you seal it. Now, no matter what happens, you're protected, and those valuable documents do not get ruined. Take a picture of your documents, keep them on your phone. They're not going to work as well as the actual document, but if you lose the documents, at least you have some proof that you had them. Here's the most underrated cruise essential, in my opinion. It's starting to get more and more popular, but this is something we've been doing for years, and I only see people just in the last year or two really starting to talk about it. A pop-up laundry hamper. To me, there is nothing worse than trying to figure out what the heck to do with the dirty clothes once you take them off. I don't want to just leave them laying around the room or the floor for the or the room attendant to have to deal with. I don't want to have to yank my suitcase out from under the bed to put them in it. We got, a $2, went to the dollar store, got a $1 or $2 pop-up laundry hamper like kids take to college for their dorm rooms. Stick it in a corner somewhere, take off your clothes, throw it right in there. It folds flat for easy packing. And honestly, it makes that unpacking it makes keeping the cabin organized much easier. Get one, it'll change the way you cruise. Packing like a pro is just the first step. Now, you need to know how to handle crowded cruise ports, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself overwhelmed, stressed, and wasting precious port time instead of enjoying that adventure. I'll show you exactly how to breeze through port days in this video.